Hey y'all, it's Trey. Good to see you again. I want to start this video off with a word of encouragement just because I've had a week. I know that I can come across as really sunshiny and optimistic, but I've had some really rough moments this week off camera. And because I have really good friends in my close circle, I've been reminded that everyone feels this way every now and then, especially a lot of us have been feeling like this in the past 6 months. I think that was really what made this week so rough for me, was it finally hit me that we have been in this situation for over 6 months. And back when it started, people were assuring me, oh no, it's only gonna last a couple of weeks, a month, you'll be able to come right back to New York at the end of the semester. So, you know, still mentally adjusting to that every day. This is not an expected situation at all, and we're still having to adapt constantly. And so I just thought that it would be a good opportunity here for me to remind you guys of that, and to say once again just how thankful I am for this community that you guys have given me. This has been I don't have words for this experience that I've had in quarantine with y'all, and I probably will not have words until after it's all over. Until the pandemic is over. I don't mean this channel being over. I don't see an end for that in sight soon, so stay on board with me, please. With that being said, I know that I missed Shakira Saturday, so sorry, but in lieu of that, I am trying to get all of the parts for the Oral Fixation tour reaction out within a week of each other. So my goal is to have finished this tour with y'all by the end of this week. Just because I know that you guys have been waiting so long for this, and I really want to honor that expectation and honor the time that you guys have invested in me, and so I am going to do my best. I am committing here to completing this tour by the end of the week, so that you guys, when I give you what you want, that I give you what you really want, you know, all at once, and it's a great experience for you. And for me as well. I enjoy seeing y'all's comments, and it makes me happy when my reactions make y'all happy. With all of that being said, it is time to start the Oral Fixation Tour Reaction Series. I'm really excited for this one. Some context for those of y'all who are not familiar with where in Shakira's discography we are at this point. This is the era that brought us Hips Don't Lie. So she has made a lot more English-speaking music at this point. Between Laundry Service, which had Whenever, Wherever, Underneath Your Clothes, you know, those songs that you know in the States, and the Hips Don't Lie era and this concert that we have right here, she released 2 albums. The first was in Spanish, and it was called Fijación Oral Volume 1, Oral Fixation in Spanish, basically. And then she released Oral Fixation Volume 2, which was her second English-speaking album, and it had a bunch of songs like Hips Don't Lie, Illegal, Don't Bother. I'm really excited because the more I talk about this, the more I get excited about, like, oh, which songs am I gonna hear, alright? Okay. We know Shakira always puts on a good show. So, let's dive right into this reaction video. Almost 15 years ago, y'all. Oh, that's beautiful! The music here really matched that visual. That was like a sky full of stars. I loved that. What is that instrument? It's really beautiful. Okay, but where is Shakira? Oh, the anticipation. There I go. What an intro, folks. Let's talk about the intro for a second. Can you guys tell me what that song was that she was singing at the beginning? It was really beautiful. It set a tone, sort of, for this intro and for this concert, if not for Estoy Aquí. And I don't really know what the word is for that tone that it set, but it definitely prepared my mind for like, oh, this is about to be an artistic experience. I'm excited for this. And it already off the bat also says, this is a Shakira concert. You're going to hear some things that you probably have never heard before. Get ready, because it's going to be a great show. We're only 2 minutes into this and I'm already living for it. Yes. All right, estoy aquí. Let's go. What are these symbols that we have floating on the wall? Good evening, you! Brendan.
Estoy aquí queriéndote, ahogándome. Estoy enloqueciéndome.
Y'all, I always forget how much I enjoy that outro as it slows down until it happens. And then I'm like, yeah. I think that might be my favorite part of Estoy Aquí, actually. It's just that conclusion to it. Just the release that it gives at the end. It's so good. When she appeared, I was like, yes, ma'am. Yes, the outfit. Yes, our barefoot queen. But there's something different about her, and I can't really figure out what it is. You guys, I realized she wasn't blonde for this era. I forgot that she went from blonde and then to brown and then back to blonde. And she's stayed blonde for a while now. But I forgot that there was another shade in between, you know, all those different hair color eras. I was like, is the makeup different? What's going on here? And she just, you know, she wasn't blonde here. So that's fun. And then the other thing was, it never really hit me that Estoy Aquí as an intro was a little bit more than just like, this is one of the first songs. We're gonna start the show off with one of the first songs of her career. Estoy Aquí is also like, I'm here. My fans, I have arrived. How are you doing? Hey. So it sort of has like a double meaning there, and it clicked with me, so I might be late to that realization, so sorry. But I really enjoyed the function of it there that time. That was great. So we know it's normal for her to start off a show with Estoy Aquí, but what's she gonna do next? Te dejo Madrid? Oh wow! I'm so happy this gets like a filmed version! Y'all know I love her singing with a mic like this.
Yes!
Yes, robot Shakira. And there's the harmonica! I like the energy that we're starting the show off with. Te dejo Madrid is so much fun. I wish she performed that song more often. It's really, really fun when they have that muy, muy lejos. Something I'm noticing about this concert, the color palette is quite different from the tour of the Mongoose. And What I mean by that is, also the staging. Let's talk about the staging and the color palette. Right now, so far, we've just got a lot of really warm colors. You know, you've got like brown, orange, yellow, bright, warm lights, okay? And then there's some red too, right before they go to blackout. And then you catch shades of red in between as well. I have not seen very cool colors like purple or blue or green show up in the show yet. Even when the show started, you had the man playing whatever that instrument was that I don't know the name of, but he was in this red spotlight. So far, it has a very different color palette from the tour of the Mongoose, which covered like, you know, every color on the spectrum. If not during the whole show, then certainly during Ready for the Good Times. And then the other thing is that the staging for this is quite different with the backing lights behind the band and the rest of the stage. It makes everything happening on stage feel a little bit more grounded, I think. With the tour of the Mongoose, it wasn't really clear what they had behind them, other than like a lot of the times it looked like black space. And so a lot of the times it looked like what was happening on stage, they were like floating in space. And a lot of that, the reason for that was because there was that giant screen that, you know, like they projected during Octavo Dia, and the dove right in the transition before Ready for the Good Times, as well as they used that screen a lot. But this one does not have that big visual screen in the back. So it gives me the idea that what happens today is going to be much more Shakira driven. You know, it's not going to have this visual aid to it. It's going to be about the person at the center of this. And, you know, part of the reason might be that at this point in her career, she had become a lot more visible, I think, to American audiences. And especially in a place like Miami, where this was filmed, where you've got the intersection of Latin American and just American cultures going on so strongly here, she would have been very, very, very visible to this audience, you know? Whether it had been for 10 years or for 2. She would have built up a much stronger image, and she, I feel, at this point probably could carry the show with just her face. There are probably a lot of other reasons for why the staging was changed for this concert and for this tour, and why we don't have that big visual element right now. But also, that's just what I'm thinking so far, and that's what is giving me, and I'm enjoying that. So, next song, Yee. Hey. This is Don't Bother, right? Yeah.
That defies gravity. She's a great cook. And she's fat free, fat free, fat free, fat free. She speaks with private school, and she speaks private French. Oh, she's got perfect friends. Oh, isn't she cool? She practices Tai Chi. She never missed a live. Oh,
Yeah, I enjoy that part when she takes it down. So, of course, I say that thing about the color palette of the show, and then next they bring in purple. We bring in some cooler colors now, which I think is really cool to indicate sort of the mood shift from those two songs that were earlier just kind of like, let's get the party started. And this song, has, like actually, cheated on me, so now I'm gonna be cold to you sort of vibe. And it has a very different feel from the first two numbers. There is a visual in the background after all. I was mistaken there. I thought that it was just a big wall of lights because it looked like it at one point. I don't know if they have one wall moving in and out, or if the wall of lights that I thought I saw was actually the screen in the back, just with visuals on that. Oh, and this guitar! She doesn't have her classic black one that I've seen in the first few years. Is it just because this one makes a different sound, I think? Which, wow, that also is an indicator of, the way that she's changed just sonically from the laundry service era to the oral fixation era. And that she's playing, I'd never seen her play a guitar like this one before. It's usually the more acoustic kind. Well, that's not true. Inevitable? Yeah, not even the Inevitable guitar was like this. Man, I wish Don't Bother had been a bigger song. It's a really good one. So focused on that sound.
Doesn't know how to touch you like I would. Oh, I'm feeling like that girl. That you think so. She's over 6 feet tall. She must think I'm a freak. Oh, I'm really can't you see? And it's not my last life at all. Hey, come on. Don't bother. I want that deception. Promise you won't ever see me again. Don't feel sorry. Don't bother. I'll be fine. 'Cause she's waiting for any day to her. We will lose some time. Don't bother me. I'm crying. You would give up all I own and move to a communist country. If you came with me, of course. And I file my nails so they don't hurt you. Lose those pounds. What about football? If it made you stay. What you want? What you want? Don't bother. I'll be fine. I'll be fine. I'll be fine. I'll be fine. I promise you won't ever see me again. I just did all I know that I'm not your type. Promise you won't ever see me again.
I remember the first time I watched that performance, I thought I was disappointed that she didn't do the high note. Promised you won't ever see me cry. I was really looking forward to that. And then, as I went back and listened to the song again, watched this performance again here, I realized it's still a good song without that one part. And I was almost relieved to know that. I was almost like, no, what I was expecting to happen there didn't happen. Oh, do I still like the song? But no, I went back and listened to it and I was like, okay, it's good. It's still good. And we have the recording if we want to hear that. But she still puts on a good show without that high part. Alas, perhaps it just was not meant for us to hear live. And we know that she's come to learn to sing healthier since then, so maybe some changes needed to happen in order to preserve her voice. Who knows? Only Shakira knows, and her team. And that's okay. That's all who really needs to know. Well, that feels like a pretty great place to stop for now. I'm enjoying it so far, and I'm going to try very, very hard to put out the rest of the parts within this week, so you guys should not have to wait more than 24 hours for the next part of this. So stay tuned, and let's see. Of course, I have other reactions planned as well to artists besides Shakira, so be on the lookout for those. And yeah, I hope you guys are having a really good time, or as good of a time as you can be having under these circumstances. I hope you're registered to vote. I encourage you to go out and vote early. That's what I'm doing. As always, just take care of each other, be kind. I'm thinking about you all, and I love you so much for being here for me during this time. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Let me know what you thought in the comments section below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and I will see y'all again very soon. Bye!